Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, your intuition knows. Your intuition knows. This is a big one to talk about today. This is a big one. This is, I think for you as a listener, sister, you might be, and brother, men listen here too. Love and appreciate you also being here. There may be topics that you hear me speak of, or maybe even you've seen the title, you go, oh, it's going to be going, right? Like, you're kind of like, you're down with it, right? I love Michael Bernard Beckwith from the Agape Church, and was in the movie The Secret when I first discovered him. And I love when he says this, it's like, you might be picking up what I'm putting down, and you might go, yeah, right. And then sometimes when we listen to something, we watch something that we think that we know, we understand, and we agree with, we kind of shut off that part of our brain that's maybe able to see something new, something different, something expansive inside of that. So that's what I'm going to invite you to do today, sister. It's just to, even if you're just like, yeah, intuition, woo, go Karen, let's go, let's have this conversation. I want you to just ground yourself, be open, be calm, because there might be something entirely different for you to hear. It's been kind of an ongoing theme in the podcast recently of just like, man, there's such depth in I'm going to say the simple principles, the things that we know to be true. We know at an intellectual, thinking way. But I'm gonna again invite you, encourage you just to let this land in a different way today. So let's talk about intuition. We are still in the whole information age-ish, I guess, like where it's just we've placed so much emphasis on information, content, consuming of it, right? Which is, listen, we have this beautiful interwebs here, which is why you and I get to speak together a few times a week, and it's amazing, and I love it. But it's like there's parts of it where it's shifted, where we have forgotten that as much as the information on the outside, podcasts, hell yes, books, yeah, seminars, coaches, like, getting support outside, yes, but there's nobody that knows but you. It's like there's all these things to support, right? Let's take a look. I often give references to the body. I'm a former practicing chiropractor. I still consider myself to be a chiropractor. That's kind of like for life. And so this is kind of the way it works with the body, right? So we can do all sorts of things that support the body in healing. We can make sure we're putting in the foods that we need to really nourish and to heal and to take care of us and to be optimal. We can move our bodies in a way that really support us. We can have ways that we provide stillness throughout our day, meditation, maybe certain types of yoga, journaling. We can, get enough sleep. We can get checked by our chiropractor on a regular basis and have a clear functioning nerve system. We can find moments in our day which bring us joy, knowing that humor, laughter, gratitude are all such incredible pieces to our emotional or spiritual well-being. We can connect to higher power, whatever flavor that looks like to you. God, universe, source, the divine, doesn't matter. All the one, it's all the same, really. And just floated under different labels and different pictures of it in our mind. So we can do all these things to help our body to heal. But the thing is that it is the power inside our, like these all support the body's healing, but it's the body that's the healing. So when I was in practice, we would often have patients that would say, oh, thanks so much, Dr. Karen, thanks so much, Dr. Ed, like you really helped me or healed me. And because of the way that we educated and we taught our patients about the body, the way that we encouraged them to allow them to see their body in a very different way, which goes against the norms of most of North America, which says our body is sick. It will get sick. You will get disease at some point. So let's get all the preventative, quote unquote, preventative, really early detection tests. Let's put all sorts of like stuff in the body, whether it be vaccinations, whether it be drugs, whether it be, we got to put silver nitrate in the kids' eyes when they're born in case mom had gonorrhea or syphilis or some kind of venereal disease, even though those things are often checked before. And it's just all these things that are done, which creates a lot of fear about the body. This is not to discount the medical system. So if that is where you are, please just take a breath. This isn't about us versus, it's none of that. It's just understanding that. And like, medicine knows this too. Like, true healing comes from inside. Why do you think the placebo effect is so powerful, right? The power of belief, like, my God, incredible, right? And so we can do all these things from the outside in, but really the honest truth is, and the real fact is that it is your body that does the healing. So in the same respect, we can do all these things from the outside in. We can support our heart and our soul, but the answers that we often are searching for, we are seeking, we are trying to figure out, we will never get from the outside. Now, those things might kind of trigger us to, or maybe like spark a certain thing or take us down a certain path, but still the answers are inside of you. Do not ever doubt that. You can ask, a good friend. You can get feedback from people that you feel safe with or share things with. You can, go to books, or some of you listen to podcasts kind of looking for answers, but I'm telling you right now with so much love and compassion, the answers you will not get from me. You will get from yourself. So yes, support yourself with all these things from the outside. But the problem becomes is when we think the answer is going to come from somebody else, something, some experience, once we move, once we get to there, once I do this new job, once I quit the job, once I heal this relationship, once I get out of this relationship, once I lose the weight, once I feel better about myself. No, it's backwards. That's not the way it works. Once I do these things, then I'll be able to listen to, I just got to get more information. No, you need to slow down, actually. And here's the crazy piece, which I never understood, because I used to be just manic. Like, for real. Man, I was running 3 businesses at one point. I was just go, go, go. I was addicted to that, really. The rush of that, look how much shit I can get done. My ego was like, woo, proud of all of it, right? I got fulfillment from the busy. It was what I knew at the time. It was doing my best. I'm not going to judge myself for it, but it wasn't real. Looking for the hits on the outside, whether it be income earned or, people saying things about me, or feeling like, let me take a look at the followers, the download listen numbers, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you can still look at those things and feel good and feel proud, but when you start to base your sense of self, your sense of worth on those things, this is where the problem is, right? Because now what happens if you lose the outside stuff? You're like, oh shit, I'm nothing, I have nothing. No, that's not what that is. No, that's not true. And we have failed to listen to our intuition. We've turned it off, thinking that it's not somehow as valuable as the information. And that is just not true. It is everything. And so whether or not you think that you have intuition or not, you do. You do. It's there. It's just, are you listening? Are you doing the practices that allow you to be still, to really listen in? Okay, so here's how intuition shows up. And I know you've been on either side of it, right? Where you kind of just go, this doesn't feel right. And you followed it, okay? And then you did, and you go, oh, thank God I did that, right? Like, I've had different opportunities come up in business that I went, oh, I let that one go, or oh, I did this. And then something happens a year later or months later, and I go, oh, yeah, that wouldn't have turned out well. Okay, thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, source, for kind of diverting that for me, and for me listening to my intuition, which are those little hits of knowing. We all have that. The problem is most of us have learned to doubt that because we place more emphasis on our brain than we have on our heart and our soul. And it's time that we switch that, because that's not working. Because guess what? You'll never have enough information. You'll never pull the trigger. You will never move forward because you keep thinking that you need to have more of that outside stuff. I need to have more information. I need to have more resources. I need to have more time. I need to have more money. I got to talk to more people. It is never ending. because you doubt yourself. Because let's just be honest, right? Again, I say this in a very non-judgmental, loving way. I say this from a place of knowing because I was there. I say this from a place of knowing because I see this with clients all the time. I saw this with women and men in practice all the time too. When we fail to take action on things, it's because we are afraid of many different things. Afraid of judgment. We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid that people aren't going to accept you. We're afraid that we're going to fail. We're afraid of what all these things mean. And so we just sit back and ego goes, play safe and don't take any action. This is where we're safe. This is our quote unquote sweet spot. So we've had moments where we listen to intuition and follow, and we've had moments where we don't. And we go, oh, I knew it, right? We've all had that experience, right? We've all had it. What was that? That was your intuition speaking, telling you, urging you to do or to not do something, or to connect with that person, or don't connect with that person, or to do that thing or not do that thing, and you ignored it because you went, no, doesn't make sense. Because a lot of times too, it won't. It might go completely against the grain. And you might find out the reason why later, why your intuition was telling that, and you might never know. Like, I remember, this is two years ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. It was a coaching program I used to be involved with. And so there was kind of a big thing of all the women that kind of been through these different pieces of the program. And I was going up to it, and I literally had like a week out. I was like, I'm not really feeling this. And I'm just kind of fearful of meeting like new women, and I don't know who they are really, and yada, yada. And then as it got closer and closer, it became like, it became louder, became like a scream. And then I remember calling my coach going, I can't go. No, my intuition, what I used to call the voice, is just like, something's telling me no. So I didn't. I lost money on that. I still don't know the reason. I can think of different reasons at this point now, 2 years later in retrospect, but I don't know for sure. It doesn't matter. I listened. Something told me strongly, don't go. I remember another time too, my husband Ed and I driving, we were still in practice, driving from where we lived in St. Albert to Calgary, which is about maybe like a 3-hour drive-ish. But it was in winter. It was a horrible snowstorm. It took us an hour and a half to go as far on the highway as it should take about 45 minutes. And we probably passed about 20 cars on the side of the road and in the ditch that had hit snow and spun out or were stuck. And so I remember this feeling of, we can't go to this thing. And we really, like, it was important for us to go. And we were just like, no, we can't go. Now, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if there would have been something that happened at that certain seminar or that event. I don't know if we would have gotten in an accident. I know that was our thought at the time. It was just like, this is stupid. But no, we need to turn around, right? There was a little bit of mind, brain with that as well, too. But there was just this knowing of like, turn around. So here is your more tip for today. I want you to, for the next 7 days, to sit in stillness for just 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. Okay? You can have 10 minutes. Yes, I know you're very busy. We're all busy. It's 10 minutes. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Spend 10 minutes before you go to bed at night, just sitting in stillness. And ask yourself this question. What do I need to hear? That's it. What do I need to hear? You can also word it as, what do I need to be shown? What's important for me to know right now? I think just really simply, what do I need to hear? Tell me what I need to hear, right? Which is really talking to your intuition, your inner knowing, which is really true. It's also your higher self, right? Tell me what I need to hear right now. Okay, so there's going to be, if something of stillness like meditation or any of these kind of practices, even just journaling, if this is brand new, just know there's going to be a lot of ego, which is fear, which is your mind like piping in, oh, well, you need to not do this, you need to, right? So just know your intuition is going to be that, like, you will know when you know. It's like when people say, well, how do you know you're in love? You just know, right? There's no like step, 1 through 7 and then ding, there you are in love, right? So your intuition, your knowing, it's going to land. It might not be what you want to hear sometimes, right? But there will be a feeling of like, yeah, like a full body yes, like a resonance, like a knowing. And so just to begin to strengthen that muscle of your intuition, because for a lot of us, we've ignored it for so long. And so, it's like it takes a little bit of time for the body to get going again. It takes a little bit of time for your heart and your soul to connect and go, is it safe? Is she going to hear us this time? Is he going to really listen this time? Because, you've like muffled us for so long, man. We don't can you hear this time? So just understand, it's not going to something be you sit in stillness and it's like Field of Dreams, right? Build it and it will come, right? It's not going to be like that. It could be like that. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to discount anything's possible, right? But I just want you, don't have any expectations about it. Don't think it has to look a certain way. Don't have any attachment to the outcome. It's just simply like, listen. You could be lying down. You could be sitting up. You could be, cross-legged on the floor, sitting in your bed. And to just either say it out loud. I would say it out loud. Sometimes I think it's good to hear your own voice. Just be like, what do I need to hear? And then just shut up. And then just breathe. And then just listen. Don't worry if your mind races to other places. Just bring it back. It's just like when kids are little, right? And they're all over the place and we kind of redirect. Just bring it back. Just come back. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't have any expectations. Just set the alarm on your phone. And just be like, 10 minutes. That's it. What do I need to hear? And then just listen. There's so many practices that I go really deep on with my one-on-one clients. And they are personalized to what each individual woman really needs and her experience. And the women that I work with that are one-on-one coaching clients come to me because there is a crisis in their life. They're at a crossroads. Man, they have tried. I know, you've tried all sorts of different things, but it's not working. It's this funny thing too. We think, well, I'll just do more of what's not working, and then I'll get the result. No, it doesn't. No, it's like banging your head against the wall of just being like, I need help. I need direction. I want the accountability. What are the tools to really help me get to where I want to go in a 90-day period of time, in 3 months, because we need some traction to really do this work together. So this message is really resonating with today's sister. Maybe you're hearing this for the first time. Maybe you've heard this for the 31st time. Because one-on-one coaching is where the majority of my time is now spent. It's honestly, it is what I do best, is what I love to do, and it's where I see the greatest results. Right? We get to work together based on your goals, your needs, to move you from where you are to where you want to be. And to have the accountability and all the tools and the system and the structure in order to make that happen. So if this message is ringing true with you, now's your time. Or if your intuition is going ding, 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 right? This is the time. So here's what you need to do. Right now, there's 2 spots that are open as I record this podcast episode. And it's by application only. So what this means is you have to apply for that, okay? So here's how you do it. To apply for one of the 2 remaining one-on-one coaching spots, to work with me to create what you really want to create in your life, you need to send me an email. Very simple. drkarenosborn@gmail.com. drkarenosborn@gmail.com. And simply say, I'd like to apply, and I will connect with you from there. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more really is one step away from you. Listening to your intuition, trusting it, honoring it, following it every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.